Hey guys, MD Prepper here. Another review, this time on the Mora #1 Classic blade. See this around a lot. Wonderful, wonderful knife. Basic standard Scandi grind Swedish made Mora knife, or Mora knife if you're trying to be specific. Now, the plastic handles and all that have certainly replaced in popularity the classic wooden no hilt and all that style here of the classic Mora. A lot of people worry about this blade, their hand slipping up and all that, but you know what? These type blades have been used for a lot longer than we've had our little hilted blades and plastic rubberized grips and all that. So it's a knife. Be careful with it. It's a very sharp knife. Be very careful with it. You need to learn how to use a knife and how to handle it appropriately, okay? I have no qualms about using this blade. I've got another one of these that I use occasionally, but not much. I do tend to prefer the one with the hilts and all that, the plastic grips, just for knock around, beat up purposes and all that, but this one's fine. Nothing wrong with this blade at all. I'll talk about the modifications you can make to this in a second. I have not made any mods to mine recently, or ever really, for my Mora knives. Maybe some basic stuff to the sheaths, but whatever. The Mora #1, the classic here, has a 3 7/8 inch blade with about a 4-inch handle there. The handle is about 4 inches, give or take. It's made out of birchwood and painted in basically a red paint. It's not really a lacquer, it's not really any kind of stain or anything like that, so just very basic. It's functional, nothing wrong with that, but you could do a lot better things with it. Let me show you the image there of the grip there. So rounded there, it's decent. It's going to be okay. Does have a bit of tendency to roll around in your hand if you get sweaty and wet. Not a tremendous amount of grip on this blade, but again, in Sweden, how hot does it get? You know, I'm used to southern sun, you know, southern humidity and all that. In Sweden, this is probably going to be fine. Great, great blade. It is, of course, carbon steel. I don't know if they make these classics in anything other than the carbon. I don't know. About 60 Rockwell on the hardness scale, which is pretty darn hard. Unlike a lot of your plastic grip Moras, this one, the classic line, is about 3/4 tang. So I guess I should have brought my magnet, and I guess I need to bring the magnet to show you guys on reviews. But magnet, about there, which is 3/4, give or take. So a little sturdier than your standard Moras that you get these days. Got this very cheap, I thought. Picked it up from Ben's Backwoods, where I order a lot of my blades and knives and other gear. They got great prices on the Mora knives. Just great. I don't think I found a better site, even Amazon. Nothing beats Ben's Backwoods. I'll probably put a link below. This isn't an advertisement, but I've had good service from them, so figured I'd mention it. I think I got it from Ben's Backwoods. The basic price was $9.98, so $10 for the blade. Again, they're shipping. I tend to order a lot of stuff when I order from Ben's Backwoods. I don't just order one blade, so whatever. Don't know how much the price for shipping would be on this one, but great little blade. Very sharp, Scandi grind like all of your Moras. You know, razor sharp. You could shave with this thing very easily. It's a smaller blade, so you know I would not baton with this or anything like that. But that's not what a blade like this is meant for. In Sweden, this is a general purpose knife. Construction workers carry these. You know, anybody who carries a straight blade knife, if you ask for a knife, they're going to probably hand you one of these or something like it, especially back in the day. So, great shiny blade. As you can see there, just gorgeous. Well manufactured. The back there is perfect for striking a fire steel, ferrocenium rod, something like that. Just great stuff. Just a great blade, especially for $10. You just can't beat a blade of this quality for $10. If you can beat a blade of this quality for $10, please comment on my video, make a video response, complain to me, tell me I'm an idiot. This is great. You're going to see these videos, you know, these knives on all sorts of TV shows, that sort of stuff. I think Cody Lundin carries one on Dual Survivor, all sorts of stuff. You're going to see these around. These are great blades. Now, do they worry about their hand slipping up? No, because they know how to use a knife, okay? Would I necessarily recommend this for a first-time knife user? No, absolutely not. You know, for first-time bushcraft, get something a little, you know, I won't say safer, but something to train with, okay? Why get cut if you don't have to, but Would I carry this out in the woods and have perfect confidence in it? Yeah, absolutely would. No doubt about it. There's plenty and plenty of mods you can do with this thing. First thing are the grips. A lot of people take off the paint, put some other type of stain, lacquer or something, you know, whatever you want, just to make this prettier. A lot of people come in and put hash marks on this thing, checkering, etc. for better grip. You can do that. I have not done so yet. I may get another one or two of these at some point and mess with them and do some update vids on what you could do with these. One of my guys at work, who's a Air Force guy, is doing a new company where he's making paracord accessories and all that. And of course, beyond the paracord, he's looking at modding Mora knives and all that type of stuff for basic survival stuff, for basic gear. You know, once he puts out some stuff, I'll probably do some vids of it, because once he makes a knife, I'm sure to buy it once he puts something together. But we'll talk about the mods you can make for this. There's plenty of stuff. Look on YouTube. You can find 1,000,001 different mods for this. Move on. Let's talk about the sheath. Thermoplastic here, you know, fairly indestructible. Weakest point, of course, here is going to be on the attachment, with your belt attachment loop. Pretty decent. I like this one better than some of the belt attachments. It's offset so that your belt loop's going to slip through, and it's going to hold off your belt just fine. No major problems there. Fairly sturdy. Again, would this break after enough use? Well, anything will break after enough use. This is fine. Has a drain hole in it. Don't know if you can see that down there, which is nice with a carbon steel blade, so that some of your moisture, if it's raining out, is going to drip down below, get out of there. Now, what you will notice on this blade, on the sheath here, you've got a little symbol. Don't know if you can see that in the camera at all. Hopefully you can. That is a crown with 2 arrows crossed and Mora below it. That is the crest, the heraldic crest of the region, province, county, if you will, of Dalarna. I believe it was the province or region of Dalarna, not specifically the county. That's their emblem, their heraldic crest. It's a crown with 2 arrows crossed below it. Then they threw in Mora below it. So that's what that is, if you see that. So just a little shout out, I guess, to their heritage there. Great blade. With the sheath and the knife together, it's decent. It's going to hold together if you're carrying this around on your campsite and whatever. It's fine. It's not the best retention, however. There's a lot better retention with your rubberized grips and all that. I'll show that in the future. So even pushed down real tight, this thing is fine like so, if it's pushed down real tight, but very slight amount of takeoff, it's going to slip out. Not the best retention overall. It's fine, you know, it's not going to fall out easily in my opinion. It's okay. There's no major problems with it for such a cheap blade for 10 bucks. I won't say cheap, inexpensive blade. It's not cheap. This is quality stuff. But there's things you can do. There's lots of folks who have little loopholes, little lanyards that flip over here to secure the thing in, you know, secured here to the belt loop. You can do that if you want to. But again, we're just talking about the basic blade here. Again, not the best retention overall. Maybe not the best grip on this, but again, this is supposed to be a classic blade. You know, modern stuff is better, okay? A Model T is not the same as a modern Honda or Toyota. Very different. Very, very different. This is a classic model, so you get what you pay for. You want a classic blade? This is a classic blade. I like it a lot. It's razor sharp. I can shave with this thing easily. Ultra lightweight. I don't know what the weight on this thing is. Didn't look that up, but the Mora Classic #1. Highly recommend it. Lots of mods you can make for this if you're looking to modify blades. There's plenty of other in the somewhat classic line. This is the basic one. I'm going to talk about the other ones here after a while. Anyway, hope you liked it. Indie Prepper, out.